Hello everyone, welcome to another video tutorial on the applications of quadratic functions. Starting with our most essential learning competency, which is to solve problems involving quadratic functions. Let us have the first problem, which is a number problem. So the problem goes like this. The difference of two numbers is 12. Find the two numbers and their product if their product is to be a minimum. If we are going to look on our table, we have here representation, working equation, solution, conclusion, or final answer. Before we fill out our table, let us first analyze the problem, identify the given, and what is asked. So for the given, on our problem, we have here two numbers. So the difference of those two numbers is 12. And then their product is to be a minimum. So let us now represent the given in our problem. So in representing, we let x be one of the numbers. So we just write x equals one of the numbers. And then the other number will be represented as x minus 12. Since on the relationship on the problem, it is said that two numbers has a difference of 12. So this is the other number. After that, we represent the product as y. After the representation, we go with the working equation. Since y is the product, it will be on the left side of the equal symbol, and then we have to multiply the two numbers which happen to be in the representation as x and x minus 12. Now we simplify our equation by distributing x to x and x to negative 12. So this will be y equals x times x is x squared, and x times negative 12 is negative 12x. Now we have here our quadratic function, which happen to be our working equation y equals x squared minus 12x. Now we proceed with the solutions. Let us copy first our obtained working equation, which is y equals x squared minus 12x. So now, since we are talking about the minimum, and we all know that the minimum happens to be a vertex, which is a coordinate value of hk or ordered pair hk, wherein h will be our x value and k will be the y value. Since we are talking about on finding the two numbers, and one of the numbers is x, so we can use the formula for h. So h equals negative b over 2a. Identify the values of a, b, and c. A is 1, b equals negative 12, and c equals 0. Let us substitute. This will be negative of negative 12 all over 2. Simplify. Negative times negative, that will be positive 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Now we already know that one of the numbers or the value of x is 6. In finding the second number or the other number, we use its representation. So we have here x minus 12. Therefore, for us to find out the other number, we use x minus 12. We replace the value or the obtained value 6 to x. So this will be 6 minus 12. And then 6 minus 12 is negative 6. So the other number is negative 6. After finding the two numbers, it is also said in the problem that we have to find the minimum product. So we can simply multiply 6 and negative 6. So when multiplying, that will be negative 36. So we can also find that through getting the value of k by our formula, which is k equals 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. Substitute the values. So this will be 4 times 1 times 0 minus negative 12 squared all over 4 times the value of a is 1. Simplify. 4 times 1 times 0, it's already 0. So we can cancel this out since it has no value. copy the negative symbol. So I will be writing it here. So this will be negative, and then negative 12 squared, that is 144 divided by 4. Negative 144 divided by 4, that is negative 36. So as you can see, we still obtain the same number for product, which is negative 36. For the conclusion, our final answer, we write it in a sentence format. Again, you can structurize your own sentence as long as the answers are still the same. So we can write the two numbers are 6 and negative 6 with the minimum product of negative 36. So that is for our first problem. Let's discuss the second problem, which is a revenue problem. So it has something to do with sales and products. So a cosmetic store sells about 40 lip tints per week at a price of 100 pesos each. For each 10 peso decrease in price, the sales lady found out that 5 more lip tints per week were sold. What price produces the maximum revenue? So let us first identify what are the given facts in our problem. So as you can see, 40 lip tints are sold at 100 pesos each. The sales lady found out that if we deduct or we decrease the price by 10 peso, making the price 90 pesos, there will be an additional 5 more lip tints for the sales. So it is asking the problem, what is the price that produces the maximum revenue? So we can use this table for us to determine the maximum revenue without using any quadratic function. So this is what you call listings. So when we list our given, so the price per lip tint for the first column, number of lip tints for the second column, and then the revenue on the third column. So for the revenue, it is the multiplied number of lip tints to its price. So your total earnings. So for the price of the lip tint, so the first one is 100, and then the number of lip tints sold for that price is 40. So for the revenue, we'll have 400. So the total revenue for this will be 4,000 pesos. After that, if we are going to decrease our price by 10, that means 100 minus 10, which will be 90 pesos per piece. Therefore, the number of lip tints sold will be added by 5. So 40 plus 5, it will become 45. So if you are going to compute for the revenue, this will be 45 times 90. And that will be 4,050. So as you can see, 4,050 is quite a little bit higher than 4,000. So for the common sense, as you can see, this will be this might be the answer. So for the other time, how about we subtract 10 peso 2 times? So 100 minus 10 minus 10, so that will be 80 pesos per piece. If that will be 80 pesos per piece, therefore the sales will be 40 plus 5 and then another 5. So that will be 50. 50 lip tints times 80 pesos each, that will be 4,000. So as you can see, this is the biggest revenue. So the answer should come from here. Let us now represent all those facts in our problem. So we let x be the number of times we decrease by 10, or we decrease the price by 10 pesos. And then we also represent the revenue as the value of y, or we can use another function which is r of x. So this will be the revenue. And then we also have to represent the price. So in representing the price per lip tint, we have to follow 100 minus 10. because we are deducting 10 peso from the original price, which is 100. So let's represent the price per lip tint. If we are going to represent the price per lip tint, we have to include the number of times we decrease the price by 10 pesos. So that will be 100 minus 10 times the times you decrease the price by 10. So that's 100 minus 10x. And then for the number of lip tints sold, that will come from 40 plus 5, and then times the number of times it will increase the customers by 5, so 5x. So now we have here our representation. For the working equation, since we are looking for the revenue, that will be R of x equals, since we are going to multiply the price per lip tint multiplied to the number of lip tints, for us to find the revenue here on the table, we just multiply the representations. So we will have 100 minus 10x multiplied to 40 plus 5x. So as you can see, we can still simplify this through the use of our FOIL method. So first terms, so we have 100 times 40, so that will be 4,000. Outer term, so that's 100 times 5x, so that will be 500x. And then now for the inner term, we will have negative 400x. And then for the last terms, that will be negative 50x squared. Simplify through combining like terms, so like 100x and negative 400x. So that will be 100x. So now let us write this in its standard form. So starting with negative 50x squared, and then we will have plus 100x plus 4,000. So this will be our working equation. Let us now proceed with the solutions. So let us copy first the revenue working equation, which is R of x equals negative 50x squared plus 100x plus 4,000. Since we are looking for the maximum revenue, again, each k is involved. So the value of k is the R of x, which is our revenue, and then h will be the value of x, or the number of times you increase by 5 customers or you decrease the price by 10 pesos. So for us to solve, let us first solve for the revenue, which is k. So using the formula, this will be k equals 4ac minus b squared all over 4a. Identify the values of a, b, and c. A is negative 50, b equals 100, and c equals 4,000. After that, we substitute the given values. So this will be 4 times a is negative 50, c is 4,000. So we have 4ac, and then minus the value of b is 100 squared all over 4 times negative 50. Simplifying, 4 times negative 50 times 4,000, it's negative 800,000. Copy the subtraction symbol, 100 squared, that's 10,000. All over 4 times negative 50, which is negative 200. Now, negative 800,000 minus 10,000, it's negative 810,000. Divide it by negative 200. Negative 810,000 divided by negative 200, that is positive 4,050. So as you can see, we arrive at the revenue, which is 4,050. R of x equals 4,050. Now for the formula on getting the price per piece, for us to have the maximum revenue, that will be this one. So the price per lip tint. So that's 100 minus 10x. Now the problem is we have to find also the value of x, which is the value of h. So in finding the value of h, that is negative b over 2a. Substitute, this will be negative, and then b is 100, all over 2 times negative 50. So we will have negative 100 divided by negative 100. So the value of h or x is 1. Therefore, we simply multiply 10 by 1. So minus 10 times 1. And 10 times 1, it's 10. So 100 minus 10, that's why it's 90 pesos per piece. So as you can see, we have solved the revenue and then we have solved the price per piece. So let's have our conclusion or final answer. So the price that produces the maximum revenue of 4,050 pesos is 90 pesos per piece. So you can write the symbol for peso. Okay. So that will be our discussion for the problem number 2. Problem, which is all about the projectile motion problem. A ball is thrown upward from a point above the ground. The ball's height in meters above the ground can be modeled by the equation h of t equals negative 15t squared plus 60t in t minutes. What is the maximum height it can reach? So as you can see in the problem, the representations are given. T will be the time in minutes. And then we will have h of t as our maximum height of the ball. Now, for our working equation, this will be h of t is equal to negative 15t squared plus 60t. So this is already in our problem. So what is asked in the problem is the maximum height the ball can reach. So if this will be the illustration of that problem, as you can see, this is the maximum height or the vertex. So that will be the illustration. So the ball will reach this peak or the value of h and k. So for the values of h and k, let us proceed with our solution. Let us copy first our working equation. H of t equals negative 15t squared plus 60t. Okay. The value of h will be the time or t. And then for the value of k, this will be h of t or the maximum height. So we are going to find out k. Using the formula, let us list down a, b, and c. So that's negative 15, b is equal to 60, c equals 0 because there is no constant. K is equal to 4t minus b squared all over 4a. Now substitute times negative 15 times 0 minus 60 quantity squared all over 4 times negative 15. Simplify this further. 4 times negative 15 times 0, this will be equivalent to 0, so you can cancel out. Just copy negative and then 60 squared, that is negative, positive 3,600. So the negative symbol is already in its formula. All over 4 times negative 15, that's negative 60. Dividing negative 3,600 by negative 60, we will have positive 60. Therefore, the value of h of t or the maximum height will be 60 meters. For the conclusion, therefore, the maximum height the ball can reach is 60 meters. So that's all for our discussion on problem solving. We have solved number-related problems. We already have solved revenue problems and then projectile motion problems. So we have already achieved our most essential learning competency. Thank you for listening. God bless everyone. Keep safe.